Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So today in this video we're taking a look at this KVM switch. This is not quite a complete KVM because KVM stands for K stands for keyboard, V stands for video and M stands for mouse. This only works with keyboard and mouse. The video part is missing here. This one is from Lemorele and there is many other USB sharing switching box available from different brands such as Ugreen, Verilux, but those were very expensive. This was one of the cheapest options that was available on the internet, so I went with this. With this you can share up to 4 USB devices between two different computers. So let's say if you have two computers, you don't have to buy two different keyboards, two different mouse, two different other devices for your computers. You can use this box, connect your keyboard and mouse, a single keyboard and mouse to this box, and then you can switch between the two computers. So at one point your keyboard and mouse will be connected to one computer. If you switch it again, your keyboard and mouse will be connected to the other computer. So this helps minimize the number of USB devices you need to work on two different computers. So without any further delay, let's just open the box and see what we get inside the box. Before we start, this is from the Lemorele brand and this is how it looks. This one is the USB 3.0 switch. It can switch between two different computers, and this is all the information at the back. Model number is model H5. So let me just take this, open this and see what things we get inside the box. So that's pretty much what you get inside the box. Let me keep the box aside. So here is everything what we get. So we get a single USB-A to USB-A cable. That's one. We get another USB-A to USB-A cable. This will help you connect two different computers to the box. Then you will get two USB-C to USB-A connector, but you get two of these, so there is that. You will get a USB-A to USB-C cable because you can power this hub or switching box with a USB-C cable, and that's one of the advantage of this particular model, is that all the other switching KVM available in the market comes with a micro USB port. This particular one came with a USB-C port, so you don't need a older micro USB cable at your house. You can use any cable. So that's what you get. And finally the KVM switch itself. Not quite the KVM but the USB switching box, and it looks a little smaller in front. So this is how it looks. So that's pretty much what you get inside the box. No manual, nothing. So let me remove this plastic part. There we go. So as you can see, this is how it looks. The Lemorele branding here. This is your button. If you click this, it will switch between two different computers. Here are your 4 input switches. So in one of these ports you may want to connect your keyboard. One of the port will take your mouse. One port can take your pen drive. The other port can take your printer. And then with this box, two different computers can use all the 4 things that you will connect here. And then you will connect your two computers with these 2 ports. And if you are running some high power devices such as maybe a high power webcam or a hard disk drive, you will need to power this device, which you will do by using this USB-A to USB-C cable, which is provided in the box. So that's pretty much about the content of the box. Now let me measure the switching box just to tell you how big this switch actually is. So as you can see, this is just about 10 centimeters or 4 inches in length. The width is about 2 inches or a little more than just about 5.5 inches. The thickness of this box is about half an inch, or we can say about 12 to 13 centimeters. So there is that. Let us also measure the length of the cable. So let's start with the USB-A to USB cable. So this will give us an idea how far you can put your two different computers. So let me just open one. So let's start from one end, start from here. So as you can see, the USB-A to USB cable is just exactly almost 100 centimeters, that is 1 meter or 3 feet 3 inches. So this is the length of the USB-A to USB-A cable. Let us also measure the USB-C cable that we got in this box to power our switching box. So this is the USB-C cable. The USB-C cable is much thinner because it wouldn't be transferring a lot of power. So this is the USB-A to USB-C cable, and again this is also coming out to be about 100 centimeter, which is 1 meter, or we can say 3 feet 3 inches. So this is the length of the USB-A cable and the USB-C cable as well. So that's pretty much it. Now let me show you how you will actually connect this to your computers. Alright guys, so I've got a small A4 paper here and I've drawn a small desktop computer here. So let's say you've got a desktop computer right on the top left corner of this A4 sheet. So to control this computer, you will obviously need a small keyboard. So I've drawn a small keyboard. So here is your keyboard. Your computer is working and you also need a mouse. So you're able to control this desktop computer with a keyboard and a mouse without any problem. Now you buy a new laptop. Let's say this is your new laptop. Now that you've got a new laptop, how are you going to use the same keyboard and mouse on your laptop as well? Because laptop keyboard is not very good, it's not very productive, and it is not that easy to use for a lot of people. So what you do, you take your keyboard and mouse, plug it out of your first computer, you plug off your mouse from your first computer, and then you plug them in your laptop. Now your laptop is working. What if you need to switch back to your previous computer? You will again need to replug them, take the plug out, USB port out of the laptop, and then plug your keyboard and mouse in your previous computer. Let's say you also have a very big SSD which had all your data. Let's imagine that this small pen drive is a SSD. So you connected this SSD on your first computer. Your SSD is now connected to your first computer. It is working. Now you want to use a laptop. So what you do, you again take the wire, keyboard wire, mouse wire out of your first computer, plug them in the laptop, and then you again take your SSD out because all your data is in the SSD. So you also want your data in your laptop as well. So again you plug your SSD in your, so this back and forth is a lot. So to avoid this, that's where we need such kind of USB switcher. So what you will do in between these two computers is, instead of plugging out, plugging back in your devices, what you will do is you will introduce a USB switcher. So as you can see on these two ports, we have two ports. So what you will do is you will put it like here. Here is your laptop, here is your desktop computer, and what you will do is, let me zoom out a little bit. So what you will do, you will connect one USB cable that came in the box, will connect from this USB port to your laptop like so. The other USB cable, USB-A to USB cable, will connect to your desktop. So your USB box is now connected. Now what we have to do is, as you can see on the other side, we have 4 different USB switches. So what I will do, on one of the switches I will be able to connect my keyboard. So here I will connect my keyboard. So one USB port is occupied by the keyboard. My keyboard is now connected. I also need a mouse, so my mouse will also be connected. Remember, I have 4 different ports here. My mouse is now connected. Let us imagine this was our external SSD. So our SSD is also now connected. SSD also now connected. And what else? We've still got one more port left. Let's say you wanted to connect a small pen tablet or maybe some other USB devices. Let us say you wanted to connect a printer. So you will be able to connect your big printer here as well. So this is your printer. So now you can see, let's say you are using your desktop computer at the moment. It is working fine. Your keyboard is working, your mouse is working, your SSD is working, your printer is working without any problem. Now you want to switch all these 4 devices with your laptop. So what you would typically do, you will take these devices out of your first computer and plug them in the laptop. In this case, you don't have to do that. All you will do is you will press this button and all these 4 devices will be switched from your desktop to the laptop. So this connection will be cut off and all your laptop will see is all these 4 switches. If you want to switch back, you will press this button again and this connection will be cut off, and then this connection will close. Only this connection will work. So your desktop will be able to see your keyboard, mouse, SSD and your printer. So this is how these types of switches help. They help you minimize the number of devices you need to control or to work on 2 different computers, and that's why these are called USB sharing switches. So without any further delay, let's just plug them in a computer and let's see whether they are working or not. So every time somebody bring their computer at my house, or I want to work on a different computer, I will have to plug out my mouse and keyboard dongle from my main computer into this laptop or any other computer, and I don't like to do that because it is very time consuming and it is very difficult to keep plugging this USB dongle in and out of my main computer. So instead of doing that, I bought the KVM switch. So here is the KVM switch. So let me just connect this, and so what this does basically, it will help me share all my USB peripherals between two different computers. So let me just connect the two different computers. So on the right side, on here I will connect my desktop, on here I will connect this laptop, and let's see whether all our devices will work or not. So these are the KVM cable that we got with this KVM switch. So as you can see, there are two USB ports at the back. So let me plug in one cable. This is one. This should connect to our desktop computer. So let me connect another cable as well. Here is the another cable, and this will connect to our desktop computer. So let me just, this will connect to our laptop. So let me just connect this as well. So our two KVM cables are now connected. So let me connect each of them to my desktop as well as my laptop. So let us connect this one to our desktop. So here is the KVM cable. So let me remove my USB dongle for my keyboard and mouse, because we will be connecting our keyboard and mouse through the USB switcher. So let me keep it here and connect my KVM switch instead. So let me connect it here. So our KVM switch is now connected here, and as you can see on our KVM switch, you will be able to see one light here, and that means our right side device, which is my desktop, is now connected. So let me connect the other side of the cable. So this cable will connect to our laptop here. So let me connect this cable as well. So let me connect it in this laptop. So it is now connected. So our KVM switch is now connected to both our desktop as well as our laptop. So let us start plugging in all our USB devices. So let us start with our wireless dongle for our keyboard and mouse. So let me plug this in our first port, which will go here, which is now connected. Let us plug in a pen drive. So pen drive will go here. And for testing purposes, I also have a webcam. So let me plug in our webcam as well. Alright guys, so here is my webcam here, and this is my Logitech 720p webcam. So let me connect it as well here. So our three devices are connected. The first one is connecting our wireless keyboard and mouse. The second one is our pen drive, with this we will be able to share this pen drive between two computers. And this is our webcam, and with this box we will be able to share our webcam between these two computers. Of course it will work. The box will only work with one computer at a time, not simultaneously with both computers. So here is, at the moment, the right side LED is connected, and in the beginning this side cable is connected to our desktop. So here is the desktop computer. So let me start by testing all these devices. So let me just test the mouse first. So as you can see, here is the mouse. If I move it here, and you can see I'm able to move the cursor on the desktop computer. So the mouse is basically working, whether our keyboard is working or not. So let me open a text document. So here is a text document there. So let me bring my keyboard here. So here is my keyboard, and let me type something in here. Let me type something like QWERTY. So our keyboard is working without any problem. So we have also connected a small USB drive here, and let us see whether our USB device drive is detected or not. So let me just open this PC, and as you can see, you should be able to see our device, USB device, which is USB drive G. If I open this, here is our drive, and these are the files which are in there. Amazon 128 GB USB. There's another image file, and this is a small tutorial file for learning Hibernate. So our device, our USB pen drive, or you can also connect an external SSD, is detected here. So our keyboard mouse is working, our USB pen drive is working. Let us test our camera as well. So let me bring in a camera app here. This is our camera app, and as you can see, it is also working. And let me bring in move the camera. As you can see, it is working, and if I point the camera, as you can see, the camera is pointing at the switch, and if you look at there, I am moving the camera now. If I bring my hand in front of the camera, should be able to see my finger. So our camera is also working through the switch. Whether we will be able to switch all these devices from our desktop to our laptop here. So let me just first open our laptop here. So our laptop is now turned on, and as you can see, I put my keyboard on top of this laptop. So moment of truth, let me switch from my desktop to the laptop, and let me just show you that if I do this, the cursor on there is working, on desktop is working, but if I switch it now, whether our keyboard or mouse will work or not. I click there and let's see whether it will work or not. So as you can see, the cursor is now working on my laptop as well. So there is that. And if I bring, this is the same mouse, blue colored mouse. If I move this, you can see it is working. I'm going to keep the mouse here so that you can see that I'm using the same mouse. And if I press the same button again on my KVM, here is the KVM switch there. If I press this again, and as you can see, the cursor is now visible there. And if I'm using the same mouse, I'm able to move the cursor on my desktop. Let me press the KVM button again, and I should be able to move the cursor on my laptop now. So I'm able to use my mouse without any problem. Let us check whether we are able to use our keyboard as well. So I've opened a small window here, and let me type something in using my keyboard. I am using my laptop. So it is working without any problem. The keyboard is also working. Now let us see whether our USB device is also showing here. So if I open this, you can see our USB device is also showing up in our desktop, in our laptop, sorry. So if I open this, you should be able to recognize all the files that were available on the desktop. So same files: LostDR, Hibernate tutorial, Amazon JPEG file, PNG file, another Amazon PNG file. Our pen drive is also detected without any problem. And the last but not the least and the most important thing is our webcam. So if I zoom it in, and let us see whether our webcam is also switched over to the laptop or not. So let me just open a camera app. So here is our camera app. Let me just open it. So you can see this is the camera app. It says Logitech C270. And if I bring my camera here, you can see that it is now, camera is now visible on there. If I bring my finger in front of there, so this is the camera, I'm moving my finger, you can see that. And this is the top view of our USB switcher from the webcam itself. So we are able to switch from one computer to another, our webcam. So let me do this in real time. So as you can see, at the moment the camera is pointing at the, here is the camera, it is pointing at the switch itself. And if I press the button, you should be able to see there in front of there, the webcam should switch from laptop to desktop. 1, 2, 3. You can see our webcam is now visible on the desktop itself. And if I pick up the camera, you can now see the USB switcher on the screen as well. So our webcam, our pen drive, everything is working without any problem. Keyboard and mouse is working, a pen drive, or you can also get an external SSD that will also work, and our webcam is also working. So our KVM switch or our normal USB switcher is working without any problem. Now if you encounter a problem with this or any other KVM switch, make sure that you provide the external power which is at the back of the KVM switch. So you can see that there is a small USB-C cable. At the moment I'm not providing any external power because I'm not using any heavy power devices, but still if I encounter any problem, I will connect an external power to the USB-C port at the back, and that should help resolve my problem. So this basically solves my problem of having to disconnect and connect my keyboard dongle, my pen drives, my webcam, or any other USB peripheral such as printer from one computer to another just to be able to work on a different computer. Now instead of plugging my USB dongle, my keyboard and mouse in my desktop, I connect my USB dongle here, and then this will be able to help me switch from my desktop to a laptop, or if somebody else bring me another computer, I won't have to remove my dongle from my computer. I will simply plug in a KVM cable from there, and plug in that computer, and I will be able to use the same keyboard, the same mouse, just by pressing a single button. So this reduces the number of devices I need to be able to work on two different computers. So there we go guys, this was my video on this Lemorele USB switching KVM. You get everything that you need to get started. Two KVM cables, a micro USB-C to USB-A cable to power the device. As you can see, there is also a power unit. Other KVM that are available in the market comes with a micro USB. This particular one comes with a USB-C, so that's a plus. You also get two USB-A to USB-C for those laptops that do not have a USB-A port, and you can also use this on your mobile phones as well to transfer data from a pen drive and that. So you get two of these, so it's a decent value for money. This was the most budget option that was available in the market. Now, one thing I will tell you though is sometimes KVM switches can be a little finicky with different operating systems. It can be your operating system, it can be the software that you are using. Sometimes they work properly, and with some devices they will not work properly, so that is always there. The other thing is that on Windows 7 it did not work properly, so if you are planning to buy this for Windows 7 operating system, do not buy this. In fact, Windows 7 is not anything that I've bought recently for my Windows 7 computer has not worked on that computer properly, and that is understandable because there is no more support for Windows 7 available. So the drivers sometimes work, sometimes don't work. So for Windows 7 computers, do not buy such devices for Windows 7 computers. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you find this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.